Patriot Cultivator fans, we are here today with another epic 4v4. Today I have Utopia Bands and Chaotic defending with me against Rum, Ham, and Ethan and Dimsdale. If I could get my computer to cooperate. Hope everybody's doing good. This is a battle for Franklin B. So, yeah, we're gonna get this shit show started. Go away. So we've already got our placement set. We got Chaotic playing as third core. Damn, was he 25? Jesus. Myself playing as Army of Northwestern. Chaotic playing third. Hi, buddy. We've got Utopia playing as fifth, and Band's playing 2021st Corps. Everything's set up. It took us a while to get our initial setup going. Army of Northeastern Virginia is who I am, 1861. I love this 1st Minnesota Brigade. Something about their uniforms. And all these men just marching into battle waiting to die. 14th, yeah, 14th New York Militia. This was a super fun battle. So as it starts off, I scroll over and I find 3 generals over here. I did not expect 3 generals over here. Although one of those generals, I believe, was a fake out. Bragg's unit here, this one. I do believe most of his men were staged over here. Polk's general's right here, hidden as well. And we have got a long, open field of pure death. I was super excited to play this map. I was really happy when everybody said they wanted to play this map. I've been wanting to play this for a while on a 4v4. And it just so happened to work out that everybody's like, yeah, let's go ahead and play that. So, that was super fun, super exciting. Ambrose Burnside moving up. And I've already got an idea of what I want to do with my men. I am placing one of my men over here on this 2-point just in case anybody tries to wrap around and come take that 2-point from us. My main goal was to push up and take this 2-pointer and hold. I was actually going to try to go up and claim from this 1-point to this 2-point and hold it, but after we all started talking, that seemed a little overkill for just one army to do. And you can see Chaotic, he's moving up his cores. Bands is moving his cores up. Utopia's back here, he's getting his men set. Man, Utopia's going for it. He's going straight for the tree line. I admire his gusto. Oh, and here we go. Bragg's Corps coming out of the woodwork, even though his general's over here. Nice fake out. Polk's moving his men up. What are these? Some nice looking cav units. Roger that. What's that? Is that another cannon? Yep, another cannon moving up into the tree line. Everybody's getting some nice placements. And it was really nice to be able to save this replay and see it from everybody else's perspective. When I play these games, I typically focus on only my men unless someone directly says, hey, come look at this unit on this spot of the map. So, my men have slowly made it through this little ditch. Looks like a dried up stream. They kind of got hung up there for a moment. And you can see me moving my cannon into range. I picked this spot because I could cover both my men and the town. That would turned out to be a beautiful spot. Now the only drawback is now that I've played this map a little more, I couldn't get a good field of fire past this ridgeline. And that severely hurt me later in the game. I compensated rather well, and I dealt with it very well. It looks like everybody's getting their cannons set up rather quickly. Let's see how Utopia is doing. Utopia's got his cannons and his general and his skirms over here. My teammates were moving exceptionally fast. I will not lie, I am playing with some really seasoned players. And I kind of felt like I may have let them down at times, but yeah, that's the great thing. We have a very, very strong Discord. So any of you who download this mod, make sure you join the Discord. These guys really are amazing people, and they will bend over backwards to try to help you. I don't know everybody in the Discord, but I've talked to Chaotic a few times. I've talked to Olympia several times, and they're both really laid back, good people. And I was really surprised just how strong this Discord got and how helpful everybody was. So make sure when you download this mod, you definitely join the Discord. It helps. It looks like Banz's 2021st Corps is already opening fire. Let's see what he's going after. I do believe he was popping shots into this tree line, and Bragg's showing his full force now, even though his general is way over here. Beautiful fake out. I think everybody, I do believe Utopia said something, or maybe it was Chaotic said that he didn't think that they were all stacked on that side, so that was a good call on them. What the hell? That had to have been a misclick with Utopia. I don't think he meant to send his general that far forward like that, unprotected. Probably a very, very bad misclick for him. And he's noticed it and pulled it back. Oh. Banz's artillery opening fire on the skirms. Massive damage right off the rip. Good shots, good shots. Chaotic's moving his cannon crews now, getting them properly set up. And he has got an absolutely beautiful field of fire. Like, that was a great setup for his cannon crew. See how Utopia's doing over here. He's got some of his cannons set. Looks like he's waiting to set them all up. I cannot remember. But he did get his general back safely. Losing one soldier to them skirms back there. That's not terrible. He didn't lose the general, and that's all that matters. Band's moving his skirms up here. That was a nice placement. What we got? We got some dismounted cav from Polk. Trying to claim that 1-pointer maybe. 1 point's just a hair back, but still, that would be claimable by the enemy team. Man, Banz's cannon getting really nice shots. Now I know that this particular player was ham and eggs. He's slowly moving up, taking his 2-pointer. I'm moving my men up. I'm moving my men slowly because I don't know what's up there waiting on me, but it does look like now all my cannons are unlumbered and starting to fire. I know that I eventually have my second roadie peppering down Polk a lot just because they were in the open. My 5th United States looks to be doing the same. Well, it looks like all of my cannon are focusing on Polk right now. So we've made it up to the trench works here. Made it up there rather quickly. So this was a rookie mistake right here on my part. I stopped pushing and waited for my army. Now, if I were to redo this again, I would have pushed because I was so close to this 2-point, but I was nervous because not everybody was fully pushing up yet. We were still in the early stages of cannon bombardment. Not only were we in the early stages of cannon bombardment, but we were trying to get as much counter battery as we could, and we were, both Chaotic and I are focusing every single cannon we can. Well, I mean, everybody was, don't get me wrong. But we were absolutely dominating in the cannon department. My problem was I didn't always have the best field of fire where my cannons were. Chaotic and Bands here, I mean, this is a long train of cannons, and they had perfect shots on both Polk's army and all of these cannons. Now, I do know I got some lucky cannon v cannon shots, but mine just weren't as effective as they should have been. So, thank God I had a really good set of teammates who were able to defend my left flank quite a bit. So yeah, now that all my troops have arrived, I'm planning on what to do. Now, I have all my better regiments up front. These all have 170 range, followed by the 135 range behind them. My initial plan was to be leapfrogging, but for some reason I was petrified these skirms were going to come in and flank me, so I did not continue to move. Although I could have, because Chaotic was more than ready to advance his army to my flank and protect me. So we got Utopia and Bands really pushing out here. They're ready to give them damn Johnny Rebs a good 1-4. Look at all these beautiful soldiers marching out to their death. So as you can see now, I am taking cannon fire. Losing only a few men. Ham and Eggs cannons back here were in a prime spot to fire into my left flank, so I started training my cannons on them, and Chaotic was doing the same with half of his. Thankfully, we broke them rather quickly. This cannon ends up glitching out, but we effectively shut these cannons down, thankfully. But look at the amount of men Ham is pushing forward. I cannot remember who Second Corps was off the top of my head. I think that was Dim, I believe. So, as it stands now, I'm starting to see this and realizing I'm outmanned. But I need to gain some ground, so I start advancing my troops. There's not much I can do right now but hold this position because I am severely outnumbered. And even though my men are large in number, they are not the best in melee. They have good melee defense. And now we're targeting this cannon, as you can see. I do start getting some pot shots at Polk's army because it's a little bit of a cluster. And I see that as a prime juicy target. Now about this time I'm like, guys, I'm going to be outnumbered. I'm going to be outmanned. Ooh. That was some good hits on Banz's army. Bragg's just over here chilling. He's just chilling like a villain. So about this point, we're trying to come up with strategies. Banz's 2021st decides to come over and reinforce me so I can do a hard push. Because right now, I'm locked. I can't do nothing. So, 2021st Corps comes to my rescue by marching straight back and then cutting across the full map, which probably is a 15-minute maneuver. But he comes to my aid, and just in case Polk decides to break off and swing in and all of these men try to overrun me, that was a good idea for him to have done. Because as you can see, these amount of men, there's nothing I can do. They have already occupied the town. They have officially occupied the two-pointer. So, I'm stuck. I'm stuck like Chuck. I reform my rear lines. So not much happens on my side for a little bit longer. So we're going to focus on the other part of the battle that I did not get to witness, because I know my teammates did a hella good job. But yeah, here comes Bands. Now right now he's just marching out to meet Polk. We've got 5th Corps setting up. Long double stacked lines. Nice lines, nice lines. Wow, his men have some range. That's damn good range to hit them skirms at that distance, and he's doing damage. So all of Bragg's cannons are hidden right now in this forest. That's going to cause a lot of damage to my allies. And at this point, I don't even know where my cannons are firing. I'm firing all over the place. I'm firing back at this cannon crew. That's where my cannon shots are going. Alright, so I've broken that one. I know Chaotic was helping at that area too. Now the drawback is that is about the limit of range of my cannon, so I know I cannot hit any of these clusters of men. So my only immediate target right now is Polk's army. So I do start turning to face Polk. Trying to see where all these cannon shots are going. I know Chaotic's cannons back here are just loading and firing as quick as they can. Jesus. Alright. Chaotic's cannons are firing right here. Man, he's got some range. He's doing major damage with one volley. Oh, get them cannons. Jeez. I didn't realize how good his volleys were. And another cannon of the Confederacy has been broke. At this point, we're happy because we know we're winning the cannon v cannon. And, you know, we're all under the impression they're going to have to push. Well, they didn't. They did not have to push because they had lock. Let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right now, this one's kind of not being used. Neither side's really close enough, so Doom's moving, looks to be 2 regiments of his 2nd Corps up to go ahead and cap that. Now the good thing is my men are slowly able to start firing, and it looks like I'm going ahead and pulling back because his skirms are opening up on me, and I don't have anything that long range. I do believe Chaotic has given me some cover eventually here. Right now he's focusing down on Polk, though, which is probably a prime target for him. No, he's still going after cannons. He's going after Polk's cannons in the rear. Man, he was a cannon-slaying machine. I'm aiming for Polk directly, though, because that's my prime target. And then 1st United States is focusing down on Doom, because that's about my best target. Now, the drawback is this entire time I am under direct fire from Ham's howitzer, and he is just ripping my men to pieces, and there's nothing I can do about it. I mean, I have nothing to counter that, so I pull straight back to Chaotic's line. I believe this is about the time Bands decides to fall back and not retreat, but fall back to my side to render aid. Man, they are getting some beautiful hits over here on Polk's Corps. I do believe Polk was played by Rum, Ham's brother. Utopia's just back here biding his time. He's got really nice lines. He's ready. He's ready to defend. Me, I'm a coward. I'm just pulling my men straight back. And here's where I decide, in my mind, now's a good time to push these men straight back, because now I'll be able to get volleys into these skirms. But, yeah, they've effectively got that 2nd point locked down. Look at the chevrons already over here. Oh! Band's taking some pretty good fire while retreating off the battlefield to come reinforce me. Band's lined right up with Chaotic here. That's pretty nice. We had a hell of a good cannon firing line here. Polk has decided that it is a no-go where he's at. He is pulling his men straight back, and why not? Because all he has to do is sit and defend. He's already got his points locked. My men are starting to open fire on these skirms because they are well within range now. I see this unit moving up, and I eventually here at some point in time I decide now's the perfect time to go ahead and re-advance my lines. I start getting a little reckless. Getting some chevrons though on Polk. Polk's my best target right now because he is right out in the open. And Ham is just out of range. There's my movement. Moving forward. Walking, not running. Always walking. I don't quite know why this unit was moving forward. But now that he sees bulk of my force moving up, he is pulling back. That's a very wise decision. And again, these are great players. Like, it's always fun playing with these guys. Hang on one second, guys. I'll be right back. I think I hear a kid screaming. Sorry about that, guys. I had to go check on my kid. He was having a nightmare. But yeah, here we are, focusing down these skirms because I don't like them. It looks like now they're going to go ahead, start pushing some forces forward and prepping for a defense. Because in all honesty, it does look like I'm getting ready to full out push into attack mode. So they're very well prepping for that. Let's see, Polk is still pulling his forces back. Don't blame him. He's still sitting on that 3-point right now, though, so they've still got that. Looks like my teammates are trying to focus down the cannons over here in the trees. The more cannons we kill, the better it is for us, because we can always lumber up and go after them. Vance is lined up with both Chaotic and Utopia. Beautiful lines. And you know, we're just sitting here whittling down forces. There's no reason to really push out. We're doing just fine. And I do try to fire and get some shots. I do end up pulling off some friendly fire, but I see this cannon setting up, and I can't have that, because that is just not going to be a good thing for me or my men. Yeah, and they're already opening fire. Thankfully, their shots weren't tremendously good right off the rip. As you can see, mine were not either. But I do believe I have all of my cannons focusing on him, because I want this cannon unit gone. God, the amount of cannon fire being put in. So yeah, Ham is moving forces, legitimate infantry forces, forward now to meet up with me. And yeah, now my shots are starting to become a little bit more effective. Taking out a decent number of men right there. My front line's firing really well. It's time to move up my reinforcements. My hope is the closer I move them, the less effective this cannon will be, because it has to fire into a small hill. And I just saw a chevron back here. I don't know who claimed it. There's a cannon back there claiming a third chevron, and I know that's on me. So I believe it was this cannon back here, which I'm almost positive belonged to Dim. So yeah, I'm chewing him up a little bit here, so very wisely he's pulling these men back. There's no sense in losing them needlessly. I have to advance, and he knows it. Getting some good cannon hits on the cannon over there, so that's good. At this point, I decided to move my 11th Mass and 16th New York to this road. I'm going to slowly advance up this road. I want to see what's being hidden over here, and maybe work on that cannon as well. And Ham's just got a ton of reserves over here. And I'm going to true up my back line a little bit since I pulled from it already. Let's check this cannon crew, see how they're doing. They're still firing pretty well. Firing straight into my men. Oh! And the amount of cannon I have pouring down on them right now. My men are even firing all the way back here at the 2nd Corps. Oh, claiming a few more. Looks like Utopia's 5th Corps Cav regiments are coming over here. Thank you for that support, Utopia. Much appreciated. I forgot I even had this 1st Michigan back here. We're already almost 20 minutes into it, and then we start noticing this. Not only did Polk pull back very far, he's starting to shift. And he's shifting. And now we know exactly what's going on. Bragg is still completely unknown. The only forces we know of Bragg's are right here. So we have no idea where the bulk of his army is. He has not reared his head as of yet, and Polk is slowly leaving our field of view. Looks like we're doing some pretty heavy damage up here to these skirms. I like seeing that. Oh, those skirms had to go. Eviction notice served. So, on the bright side, I've gotten this cannon crew focused on my men instead of my cannons, which is what I wanted to see. There we go. 3 chevrons on this damn cannon back here, just shredding my men. And I am hardcore opening up on this regiment. Thankfully, my men have some protection. Oh, I do believe my cannons are still aimed at this cannon. Now what I want to do is with my 11th get some flanking fire on this regiment, but Dim is ready, and now I see what's in the town, and he's pressing up 2 full regiments to try to do some tricky shenanigans. We got Utopia's Cav Corps coming over to try to assist over here. I believe, yes, Utopia has formed up and is making his way to my side, because at this point I tell him I have 2 full armies and we know Polk's marching. I cannot take this, and my goal is this 2 and this 1. And with the amount of men they have, there's no way. It's not going to happen. Now my 16th is already going to waver. They're going up against 2 regiments and a cannon face first. They don't like that. So the 11th will fire into the cannons while this unit just literally sacks itself to try to run into the cannon. And friendly cannon fire is coming in as well. Oh, dealing some damage. If I can just get the 16th to this cannon, they are going to break. My men are shooting, which is a good thing, because that's just really helping. And now that they're broke, I need to focus over here. However, they're immediately going to shift troops. So I know this unit's pretty much used up. So I just continue the charge. But there's too many men. So now that the goal is accomplished, just time to move this 11th mass out of here. They've done what they needed to do. They supported the 16th. 16th breaks. I cannot blame them. They have a lot of fire coming in on them. So right now our game plan is I am the farthest one up and I am stuck. I can't do anything until my reinforcements get there, and my reinforcements are making their way as quickly as possible, and they're all hidden, so as far as everybody knows they're still over here. Now that Utopia's men have, well, now that his support force is gone, he is reforming his lines to take care of the small gap here. Let's see how the Cav is doing. Looks like I am breaking some more units over here. The Cav's doing what Cav does. What's this unit that I'm breaking? More skirms. Probably skirms that have broken and came back multiple times. I'm going to form my 11th up here, because this road's going to be useful again to me later, I think. I'm hoping my 16th comes back. They do, and they're going to probably instantly break again because they're going to take fire. No, they don't break. So, it is time to pull that 16th back to safety. I don't even think his men are firing. Yep, so I get those men a-moving. And this cannon back here is just giving me 7 kinds of hell, so I start trying to target it, and it's just far enough that my cannons can crest that hill and make it to them, but anywhere closer they just can't do it. They fire into the backs of my own men, and I end up doing some unfortunate friendly fire to find that out. So sadly my cannons were not as efficient as I needed them to be. Personally, I think now looking back, although now they're all trained over here, so personally looking back, I should have lumbered up the 2nd Rhode Island and literally just marched them and put them right here. I really should have, but of course I didn't. But you know, they're getting really good shots over here, even into this poor little cottage. But they're moving more men up because they can see the Cav Corps coming in. Chaotic's got his skirms back here in the tree line, holding the tree line down. So, you know, 5 regiments marching over, just not pleasant. So, my reinforcements are still on the way. Chaotic's troops are nice and fresh, away from danger. Utopia's troops are really fresh. They are taking fire, but they're somewhat away from danger. His sharpshooters out here just giving him a good scouting. And here, all of a sudden, here comes Polk. Polk's decided to come back up after we've shifted. So we are all planning to make a push once my reinforcements make it. Which, as you can see, they are getting here. He has got quite the amount of men. My general's back here nice and safe because I damn sure don't want to lose him, and I do not need him at the moment, so there's no sense in marching him to the front lines. I just keep hitting over here. It's the only thing to do. Now I see this cannon crew come out of the woods and quickly disappear. Look at that, 4 chevrons on that damn howitzer back there, just eating my men up. So I know this cannon's coming, so I get ready to focus down that cannon because that is in a good field of fire for me. So now that I can see him, all of my guns are going to train right on him. Now we are currently holding down, I have a unit on the 2-point, Chaotic's holding down this one. Oh, and there, instantly hammering them with all 3 of my cannon crew. Dealing massive damage. Not enough to finish them off. Let's see what's going on over here with Utopia real quick. Looks like Bragg got some lucky cannon shots, and it looks like we've got some glitched out guns. Unfortunate for Utopia and the federal cause. Another volley coming in. Oh! And come on, break. Oh, running his general over here to rally. Didn't make it in time, though. So those cannons will also be routed from the field. And I tell you, we are some cannon-killing people today. Looks like Utopia is trying to very sneakily do something with his cav. Utopia is great with doing sneaky shit with his cav. I use my skirms to do sneakiness. He uses cav to do sneakiness, and he is very effective at that. And it's times like this I wish general sniping was allowed. And then I see more cannon. Unfortunately, that was a wasted shot. I didn't get them redirected in time. On the bright side, some of those did get some Confederate soldiers back here. Let's see. Ham is now moving his cannons. So I see all of these cannons, and it's just like a kid during Christmas Day. It's time. Wow, massive volleys opening up from my front line as we have a regiment come into aim. It looks like they're trying to bait me into pushing forward. But I know better. Look at these lines. Ham has 4 tiers of lines. I'm not about to do that. I'm safe right here. And we are cannoning the hell out of them. Well, Bragg's men are still sitting over there. At this point, we still don't know where the rest of Bragg's army is. Always check the mini-map. Always be aware of the mini-map. And as you can see, a lot of my shots are hitting the dirt, but that's fine because that means my men are protected. The hell is that? Oh, okay, they moved a little farther forward than I realized. So yeah, we're gonna keep focusing down cav or cannon. Oh, look at that! My cannon is in a perfect position for counter battery. This cannon, I'm just in love with this position. Unfortunately, it's going to start taking some damage here soon. Because this cannon is just at that angle where it's hard to hit. Yeah, they're going to get the hell out of there because I'm just putting down a ton of soldiers. So at this point, Bands tells me, you know, hey man, I am here to reinforce you. You've got to watch your cannons because I have no choice but to walk right through them. Now the plan is for me to push straight where I'm at and him to go to my right flank and take this town while I take the 2. And that'll guarantee us lock. All we have to do is get this 2 point and this 1 point, and we've got lock. Let's go check on Utopia over here. Looks like he's getting hit really hard with cannon. What's he doing? Just marching some troops around, getting a feel for things. I do believe his cannons are glitched out, and that's terrible. However, Chaotix are really doing good, and he is counter-battering the hell out of Bragg's cannons. Oh yes. Looks like we got 1 there, 1 there, 1 here, and 1 back here. So Bragg still has all of his cannons, and he's in the tree giving him shield, which, you know, good for him. Oh, look at this. Polk has a cannon. Oh, I don't know if that was chaotic or me doing that shot. That looks like that would be my cannons, because Chaotix cannons are all aiming towards Bragg. Now here comes this beautiful 21st Corps Army coming in to reinforce the Army of Northeastern Virginia. Thank you for those reinforcements, gentlemen. And we have officially hit 30 minutes into this 1-hour battle. Now, this cannon, however, is in a decent range for me to shoot. I've taken 1 here. I've got cannons firing in all directions. I have got to take this unit out, though. It's got 6 chevrons because it's just eating my front line to pieces. So let's see. Yeah, all of my units have shifted to fire over here because they're on my flank. Now right now I cannot fire because I am getting reinforced. I think I get another shot with him though. And as you can see, they're starting to hammer this 1st United States battery. Oh, and that was a good hit. And there they go. They just couldn't take it. Too many direct hits. This cannon was in the absolute perfect spot. So I've officially lost my 1st cannon. I'm a little salty and a little sad over that, but I think we have dealt enough damage to the Confederates. So I know I can use this cannon if I focus down on Ham and be able to miss my ally. So that's what I'm prepping to do. This one, however, is going to continually focus over here. Thankfully, now that all these infantry soldiers are pouring in, he's not worried about my cannons now. My 1st United States artillery is not wanting to turn around. So now that I have all of these reinforcements coming in, now's the time. I push. I push hard. Now they did get a lucky shot on my general. That was not directly intended for my general. They were actually shooting at this cannon. They're trying to take my cannons, and it was just some spray. I didn't take any loss, but that was enough to make me be like, yep, time to move. And considering I'm going in on a full-on assault, it's time to move them hard. As you can see, Chaotic's starting to push now. He's going to push a lot of men up to support my left, while Band supports my right. Now I'm moving up my good soldiers. These all have 170 range. They're rifled. I don't know what I'm going up against because, you know, you can't see that. But these are some nice, thick lines. And he has got plenty of men in reserve. 7 chevrons. This cannon has got to go. I'm opening up now with my guns. Let's see. There's a chevron. Where are they aiming for? Alright, they're focusing on the cannon off to the side, which I dealt some good damage to. These guys are going for Ham's howitzers back here. And at this point, I'm just hoping I don't lose an ass load of men in this push. Which, as you can see, I don't have perfect positioning. But now that they see I'm pushing, they're going to start moving more men into it and more men into it. There's a shit ton of Polk's Corps. I've got Chaotic doing a mass mobilization. Utopia is still pretty well positioned where he's at, but he's going to start moving out once Chaotic gets a little farther forward. I may have pushed a little hard here, but I wanted to get into this fight. We were already 34 minutes roughly into this fight, and we are not in lock. Looks like 5th Corps is moving their cav out. And my cannon crew most likely is not going to come back, so that made me very sad. However, I've still got 2 functional units that are very good. Bands is going to split his force and try to protect both sides and meet up with Chaotic. Utopia is doing a hard push now. Utopia is going to have it pretty bad because Bragg has a lot of cannons, and Utopia has got to march across straight open land. Let's see how that works out. Now, thankfully, Chaotic still has what appears to be all of his guns, so he can support. However, he's got one focused over here, which is a good thing. Oh, what's this? I'm doing a push. My 11th Mass doing a hard push. And I believe they see it. And I have the 6th Ohio backing me up. Thank you, Bands. Bands marching to fill in this gap right here. Oh, and they're just hammering my front lines. And I didn't realize that my men were not firing because their fire at will was off. And I didn't realize that because I sent the wrong troops forward. So, yeah. I'm just sitting here. There they go. And I am now going after this cannon that's just giving me such big issues. And I mean, thankfully I have a fresh unit pretty much. Hasn't taken much loss, but I fully intend on losing this unit. I don't think that they are going to return. And the 6th Ohio is forming up to fire on them. Oh yeah, good volleys. Very good volleys. Let's see what happens. Give them hell, 11th Mass. Now this unit's already lost a few units. Let's see what happens. It's not looking good for the 11th Mass. And they're instantly going to turn and try to fire into that unit. And they routed. Poor 11th Mass. That's alright. Bands moves in perfectly on my flank. Chaotic's pushing like ever-loving crazy. We got Utopia over here pushing, trying to get into them trees, get out of the open, or he's just going to get smashed. Looks like he tried to march his sharpshooters up to give covering fire to his infantry. And yet again, another chevron. However, they're breaking in, they break. I don't know why they broke, but I was happy to see that. So yet again, another cannon claimed by the Army of Ohio. Or I'm sorry, Army of Northeastern Virginia. And Utopia's Cav has now pulled back around. I don't know where he's going. I was unaware of that. Thankfully, though, I'm getting some chevrons, and I am finally dealing with that damnable cannon of Ham's. And I took out... No, Chaotic took out Polk's cannon right here. I was focused on Ham. So now that that's gone, I can retrain my main cannon battery. And at this point now, I'm just shooting at anything I can. I should have changed the location of that cannon. And I still have the 1st Michigan back here just chilling like a villain. Are these ones firing? Yes, they are. I know at one point these guys actually glitch out. My 11th Mass is just getting the hell out of Dodge. Can't blame them, though. I really should have pushed these men up. I did not realize just how bad their field of fire was. I mean, it doesn't look like they're missing terribly bad, though. And right here, I start to do a nice little leapfrog just to give that front line a break, because they had been fighting long and hard. And, you know, keep in mind, I am still a beginner at this whole multiplayer. I've played the game many a year, but not in multiplayer. So, you know, I get some friendly fire right there. But more importantly, I'm moving my soldiers to a better field of fire. Let's see here. Let's get a point of view. Yes, much better field of fire. And it does appear that a lot of the Confederate rounds have hit dirt. And I inch them just a little closer because I actually checked the field of fire.
A unit has grown weary, sir.
Oh, and what's this? Oh no. My 11th Masses came back? Way to go, boys. So I drew them up. Get that situated. Bands is pulling the rest of his army up now, because he knows he's going to need it on this side, because he is facing a lot of men. And now he's going to fill in between me and Chaotic. I mean, he's got a great setup right there. I wish I could have stretched out more men. And again, that damn fire at will. Oh no, they're still just in setup phase. Nope. These guys are idle. Just looking at the ground while you're getting shot. Yep. Again, I get so wrapped up in this damn game that some of these, this was the only unit not on fire at will. The rest of them were firing, which was kind of a costly mistake. And Ham decides to go ahead and do his first leapfrog. Let's run back over here, though. Chaotic getting set up still pretty well. Utopia has no choice but to march across this open field, and he took a lot of damage. I felt for him on that. However, now he's got this 1 point. So now we have got 4 points. They've got 2, 3, 4, 5. That one is questionable. So they've still got 1 point on us in lock. Look at the size of Chaotic's sharpshooters. Jesus. Four chevrons now. Good job, boys. I'm focusing down on Polk right now because that's the only good shot I have. But as you can see, if it wasn't for 2021st Corps, I'd be going up against 3 separate armies, and there was no way I can compete with that. Again, suicide charge of the 11th Mass. I was going after another cannon. And they're going to stop me in my tracks on that one because I know what's coming. So I countercharge. Probably not a good idea in my my mindset because my melee is not as good as theirs. But man, oh, and that was a hard hit on Bands. But man, he's doing some damage over here. I'm seeing some Confederates drop. I'm seeing some Confederate bodies. They've just got... Jesus, they've got a lot of men. And my 11th New York still just not firing. I did not realize that one unit did not have fire at will on, and that cost me dearly. They just had so many men. And 5th Corps, man, they are making some good progress. Uh-oh. Looks like he was going after some cannons and some infantry popped up at Bragg's. Bragg's got a general now over here where he belongs. Didn't even see him move. Although it does look like he finally broke that cannon. And let me guess, that's my 11th New York that was not on fire at will. Yeah. What a tragedy. Look at all those men because I was so stupid. However, the rest of these men are firing. And here's where I decide to pull that line back to let them get rested up. It's time to march these men forward. And look at the sheer amount of troops. My ally has to pull back because he's just getting outshot. Let's go back and check out on Utopia here. Utopia's shifting some of his men, and look at the amount of men that just popped up for Bragg. I'd say it's safe to say by this point we have found Bragg's army. Man, Utopia's giving them hell, isn't he? Give him Utopia. Get him. Trying to outflank him, but he had some troops set off to the side. That kind of sucks. However, Utopia is marching some more men over. He's got more men. And here's his cav. Man, he got that cav all the way from my side back to his side. He made that look so damn easy. And, you know, let's give it up for these players. They have fought hard. It looks like this is the only set of soldiers Ham has in the center. I'm facing off against most of them, thankfully. Thankfully, I've got a good field of fire on them too. So, and all of my men are actually firing. I wanted to squeeze a unit right here and fire into the flank of Polk, but pathfinding would not allow that. And my 11th did come back, thankfully. So, Bands' men have been fighting for a hot minute. He's going to reposition his men because my 11th broke. And they're just heavy pushing now. Thankfully, this cannon has glitched out. So we no longer have to worry about that cannon, which saved a lot of Union men. Oh, look at the amount of men that just got dropped in that volley. That is a thing of beauty. However, unfortunately, that counter volley did pretty damn well too. Let's go check on Chaotic over here. He's going up hard against Polk. Oof. That cannon. Ouch. Poor Utopia. Looks like Utopia's going to try and get these cav around and take out them cannon. If he can do that, he has a good chance. But that cannon is chewing his poor soldiers up, and there's nothing he can do about it. Man, Chaotic's dishing it out too. Oh! I don't know if that was friendly fire or not. This cannon is also glitched. Ooh, nice flanking fire. It looks like I'm marching some units over to give Bands a break. But he's cycling his men as well, trying to make sure everybody stays nice and fresh and rested. And I'm just leaving my men, because every time Ham cycles, that gives me a good volley and a chance at a second volley before his men open fire. Because it does take a few minutes for them to get set up, allocated, and ready to fire. See, now this one's getting set up. They're ready to fire. Yeah, I ended up getting 2 volleys in that maneuver. Doesn't look like this one's... There we go. But now he is point blank range. We both are, so there is very little missing. That 18th New York just took a hard hit. Yep, time to march a unit up. Come on, 8th, get in there. And we are down to 15 minutes roughly remaining in this battle. Utopia's hard shifting men getting in the fight. Look at him go. Nice maneuvering. It looks like he's dealing some pain to Bragg, and Bragg's dealing it right back, but right now it looks like it's a pretty even match. If it wasn't for those cannons, I guarantee you he would be overwhelming Bragg right now. Polk is slowly breaking. Chaotic is finally whittling Polk down. And Polk is going to retreat out of that. He's not happy with the way that's going. And these sharpshooters over here, these sharpshooters are dealing mega damage. Give them hell, 5th Corps. Alright. Let's go check on Bands over here in the center. He's whittling away at Polk pretty decently. I'm finally starting to crack this front line. That gave me some false hope. My 18th came back. Time to march them forward, back up to my front lines. Oh, getting some friendly fire there out of the 3rd Kentucky. Man, he's knocking them down. It looks like... Is that a cannon crew? It is. Bands is moving a cannon over here. Okay, so I missed this. I had a unit right here. I missed what happened. I had a unit right here holding down that too. Okay. So, yeah. Bands and myself leaving our generals in the rear so they're nice and safe. I move up my 11th New York to try to get some flanking fire. I thought that this was going to be a good idea. Pound for pound, I think I can outshoot Ham's men. But at this point, I'm starting to get worried because we've got 12 minutes left. Utopia's got a 1-point lock, a 2, or I'm sorry, is that a 2 or a 1? I can't tell. I think that's a 1. So we've got 4 for sure, but they've got 2, 3, 4, 5, and this one I think would be questionable. But yeah, they're moving to it. So they're going to have, for sure, 6-4. So it's going to come down to me and Bands to at least take this 2-pointer right here. If we could take this 2-point, we'll have lock. And thankfully we've got Utopia and Chaos over here holding firm. Oh boy. Oh boy, what's this? Bragg's moving out hard. Bragg's moving super hard. What's this? Third Corps sharpshooters going after the cannons. I didn't even see that. Way to go. Looks like this cannon's been broke. That's a good thing to see. Without those cannons, Bragg won't be super gnarly. Looks like we got dismounted cav over here now. Whew, wow. Bragg doing a massive push. Yeah, we have dismounted cav. Bet you that's the other one. Dismounted cav, yep. Okay. My God, Bragg is pushing. Looks like Polk's coming back towards Chaotic. I do believe he's holding pretty good. Those damn cannons breaking the sharpshooters, though. Oh, look at this. He's got another sharpshooter unit. Looks like it's facing off with this cannon crew. Good job with those sharpshooters. Looks like we've lost another unit. The 8th that we moved up. It's time to put the 18th back where they belong in the front lines. And they have still got tons and tons of men and reinforcements. I'm like, where do all these armies come from? Bands has a couple units over here. Unfortunately, I don't know if those 3 units would have been enough to do anything against these 5. These 5 now definitely have lock. What's he doing with this cannon? Oh, look at that cannon. Nice location. I don't know what he's shooting at. That is a nice location on that cannon. Alright, back up to the front lines here. I finally broke one of Ham's front lines, so that's good, but he is ready and plugs that hole. And these men are fresh. Mine are already starting to become tired. The 11th New York is doing everything they can to give any kind of support. That was a crappy location. I should have moved them on up higher. I didn't realize how bad that location was either. It's really hard in the heat of battle, though, to be on top of everything. Oh, those sharpshooters are just pummeling that cannon unit in the side. Way to go, Chaotic. Oof, looks like that cannon, though, it returned the favor in kind. Man, Bragg is just... Jesus, Bragg's pushing like crazy. Alright, well, one of Utopia's cannons for sure is working. He's still got a general. So Utopia is not out of it yet, and he's setting up for a good flank fire. I think he's gonna get charged. Seven minutes remaining in this battle, and I'm starting to get a little crazy. We're gonna move the 1st Michigan up. I don't know exactly what was going through my head. One unit isn't going to do a whole hell of a lot. I ended up taking over this whole side to give Banz's men a rest. They've been fighting pretty hard on that flank. I charge right in. Thankfully, these men were fresh. And I know they're gone, so I just go ahead and do some more stupid shit. But, you know, at this point, you know, desperate times, desperate measures. We for sure have that one, this 2. So we have 4 for sure, but they've got 2, 3, 4, 5. So they've got 6 to our 4. So the only hope we have is to take this 2-pointer right here. And that's what we are all going to try to do. Chaotic, however, has to march reinforcements to his side over here. Bragg is really putting the hurt on 5th Corps. Although Utopia is giving it just as good as he's getting it. He has not gave up. And look, I mean, point blank range, he is just pouring it into him. This will be a good volley. The only drawback is Bragg has his general right up here giving support to all of his men. Oh, good hit on my own men. Really what it come down to is they have the upper hand right now because they have the terrain. We're hitting a lot of dirt. We're firing uphill. They're firing downhill. I believe he's going to leapfrog some men, which is okay by me because that just gives me a better range of fire. Active, tired. Yeah, most of my men have been fighting a long time. Oh, my men came back. 1st Michigan. Way to go, boys. Damn proud of you. We got McDowell Cook over here. Oh, and look at the chevrons. He's lined up really nice on them. Alright, so Utopia's pulling back his army to face off against Bragg. It looks like most of 5th has broken. We've got a unit there, and it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unit coming back 6, 7. 5th is not out of it yet. But Bragg just pushed so hard and so fast, it was hard. It was just a little hard on 5th. So there's 8 units right now. 9 units. I didn't see this one. 10 units. This is going to force Bragg to pull back and reform with the amount of men.
Your men have been routed, sir.
And my men have been fighting so hard, they don't have much left. Yeah, my men are starting to break up and down the line just due to the sheer amount of firepower. Looks like I'm trying to pull off a nice little side shift, but I don't see this unit lasting long. They've already been broken several times. Bands had to pull his men over here to support his own lines. Bands sees my men crumbling, and he does everything he can to move in and try to help support me, but it's not looking hot. Yeah, breaking. And at this time, we tell our allies, hey, we are not going to hold this line. Polk sees us crumbling, and first thing he does is move on in. Very smart on Polk. But yeah, I've got next to nothing left. And I am pushing in on that too, but it's not enough. I'm breaking some of his, but he's breaking so many of mine. I tried to get a side shot volley over here, and there was nothing these men could do. The only thing I have is my cannon at this time. I've got 1 cannon out of 4 firing over here, and this unit's actually the only one that did really well.
Your men have been routed, sir.
Chaotix over here, hammering the rest of 2nd Corps. 5th Corps came back strong. Way to go, Utopia. He came right back from that, pushed right back forward, linking up with some 3rd Corps. 3rd Corps doing a hard shift. I think what he's trying to do is get to this 2-pointer up here, but I don't think he's going to have time. And the Confederates just push out and instantly hammer me. And there's nothing I can do about it, like, at all.
Your men have been routed, sir.
Yeah, he just had too many men. Jesus. Chaotix over here just routing everything in sight. Looks like he is hardcore pushing for this too right now. Utopia's over here holding back Bragg. Oh, he's even mounted back up on his cav, and he's going after the cannon. Way to go, Utopia. Oh, okay, he's going to line up in the tree line. Good thoughts. Yeah.
Your men have been routed, sir.
Yep, he's going straight for the 2-pointer. I don't even think I have 1 regiment left. I've got my general. I'm doing everything I can to pop rallies and... Man, he is pushing. 43 seconds and he is running. Let's see, what do we got? Man, Van's had troops everywhere. Talk about micromanagement. And I tried just the last ditch effort. I'm going to attack these guys with my general. Go out in a blaze of glory. And they get stuck on a fucking tree. Bands has some units over here trying to hold, but it's not looking too hot. Utopia's breaking. Bragg's breaking. But there we go, ladies and gentlemen. I'll let you pause if you want to see what individual units were. My second Rhode Island getting 7 chevrons and almost 400 kills. Wow, I actually killed quite a bit more enemy than I thought that I did. Almost 2,000 enemy killed. Okay, I mean I'll take that. Looks like I also deployed the most amount of men. However, my men were not as well. So Rumham playing this Polk, killing a good amount of men. Ham hammered me. Damn. Ethank killing 2872 is Bragg. Way to go, Bragg. Dim was second corps, 1604. That was really, really good. Yeah. Damn. Epic battle. We almost won at the end. Chaotic just couldn't make it to that 2 point in time. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I enjoyed showing it. I will talk at you all later. Peace.